listening? Damn.
Hey y'all, Spideera here with another ranking review, and this one is for Jazz for Two. Now, unfortunately, I do not have a playlist for this because, for whatever reason, every time I've seen this on YouTube, I don't know, maybe the company that owned Jazz for Two or somebody, they take it down. So right now there are parts and pieces of it on YouTube, but I have not seen an actual full copy of any of the episodes. So you'll have to find the actual show on another platform. I'm still reviewing it though, because my point is, again, I'm trying to make this a nice big database with lots and lots of BL yaoi stuff, so anybody looking for it will know where it is, and you'll know if it is a BL or not. So I'm going on record to say Jazz for Two is definitely a BL. So, what's it about? It's a story about a piano player. Now, these are still kids who are, as far as I can tell, this is probably high school. They still live at home, so that's why I'm saying it's high schoolish. But it's a piano player whose father is a professional piano player. He's a classic musician. And his father's trying to groom all of his boys to follow in his footsteps. And he's a really strict dude. And so for whatever reason, he's decided that his son is not allowed to attend regular school with other kids. And so he's been homeschooling him for years. And so at some point, he finally allows him to attend school. But his caveat, or what he's pushing, is even when he's in school, he is still required to play classical music only and nothing else. Well, the young man has an interest in playing jazz. And so while he's at school, he starts kind of piddling around with that concept. And in due time, I mean, like, you know, with his first week of school or what have you, he runs into a person who plays the horn, another guy. Now, the horn player, for whatever reason, as soon as he meets this kid, seems to have an issue with him, and he keeps targeting him, and it seems as though he has some kind of an unspoken vendetta. The piano player doesn't know why, and so these two are going back and forth, in which, you know, the piano player is pretty much at a loss. All he knows is it's, you know, his first couple of days of school, and this dude is hounding him about things that for the most part he wouldn't know because he's a new student. So that's kind of the gist of the story. The rest of the story unfolds with them him trying to figure out what's going on. And as each thing, like where he figures out, okay, I got this part, then somebody else comes in the play, comes in the scene, and then they're adding a little more. And so the story just kind of builds from there, where they just, it turns into a drama in which every episode they add a new layer to the drama. So you'll eventually catch on as to what's really going on. Now, this is the ranking on this one. I gave this one an 8 out of a 10. And for the most part, it's not, it's mainly because out of the 10, it meets 8 of the criteria, but not the full 10. So the story was good. The acting is okay. The characters and everything, like I said, I'm believing they're supposed to be high school. So they're relatively young. The production was pretty good. I'm not going to say it was excellent, but it was pretty good. I mean, it's not too far off of what we expect these days. Now, what is the downside? The chemistry between the characters was seriously lacking. I know these guys are young, but acting in general has come a long way as well. And even little kids, I mean, the kids who played in the best story, which are very young kids, I think they put on a better show than what these guys did in Jazz for Two. No shade. It's just it just wasn't there. It was like it was like some of the characters seemed to gel better than others, I guess. And the two main characters, it just didn't have that, it was like you could tell everything was choreographed. It was almost like you could almost imagine somebody talking to them the whole time saying, no, stand closer. Okay, no, move your hand over there. No, wait, that was the impression I was getting, was that if somebody was either directing the hell out of these guys, or these guys really don't like each other, or if they kind of like each other, it's sort of a, it was very apparent that this was not extremely high chemistry between the two. I'll just put it like that. Now, in addition to that, the other reason it's an 8 is because this show, for some reason, made in this century, was full of complete fakery. They had fake kissing. They had the whole, you put the umbrella up so you can't really see what's happening, but they do the shadow to make it look like they're kissing. It's like, come on, guys. This was not made in the 80s. We are so past the whole, you look at two boys holding hands and everyone goes, ew. We don't do that anymore. It's kind of like if you're gonna make a BL or yaoi, hire people willing to make a BL or a yaoi. If the guys are not willing to touch each other, look at each other, hug each other, kiss each other, then don't hire someone else. There are a billion guys out here that are willing to do it. Just like, back in the day, women had to take their shirts off and didn't want to. There are guys who are willing to kiss and hug and hold hands. Especially considering, I'm not saying there's a massive number of men out here willing to, that are gay or actually into other men. What I'm saying is there are plenty of guys who are hungry for a job as an actor, who are willing to do and take these jobs and take them seriously and do them well. And there's no point in overlooking them to hire somebody who's really just not into it. And because it comes across. And then if you're trying to make money, see, every time you put something out like this, then every time I see the name of this production company, I'm going to have second thoughts as to whether or not I'm going to watch it, because I don't want to waste my time either. You know what I'm saying? I don't, if I weren't in the mood to watch a BL, I wouldn't be watching a BL. I like Asian films. I'll sit here and watch all kinds of Asian films. I'll watch films from all around the world because I like international films. I'll watch US films. But at the end of the day, I do like the fact that they're supposed to be as real as possible, given how much of these things are fake to begin with all the sci-fi and CGI and all the stuff you can use. An actual romance is one of the few genres left where you expect to see people touch each other and hug each other and do something with each other for real. And so, in this one, there was a whole scene where the guy, he's clearly supposed to be kissing, but I mean, his lips are shut so tight, his eyes are so wide, he is staring right past the other guy's ear, and he is staring, I mean, like, his lips were so tightly closed, I don't even know how he was still breathing. That's how bad it was. And I'm thinking, you poor kid, you look like somebody just said, you're going to eat this poison apple. He's like, don't let anything touch me. That's his face. That's pretty much what his face said. And that was supposed to be the semi-romantic scene. So I was kind of like, alrighty then, we'll just, wait till they're done torturing each other, because that's what they look like. They do not look like they're having fun. So anyway, and my only other tiny little pet peeve was that this was supposed to be a film about jazz to a certain extent, and the music was not really jazz or jazzy. That was just a nitpick. That's just an observation. I'm not going to get into the argument over genres and what fits and what doesn't, because I know that's a big pet peeve in the U.S. Oh my God, people are still arguing, jazz doesn't have me, like whatever. So anyway, so that's why it got an 8. It is a good story. I'm not going to take away from the fact that it's a good story. I'm just saying, and it's really, as annoying as the little things were, it really wasn't hard to watch, and it's fast paced. So ultimately, at least it won't be annoying if you decide to watch it. This isn't one of those where, you get through episode 1 and it's like, oh, good Lord, I don't think I want to be bothered. No, they do a pretty good job of unraveling the story, and they add a little, every episode they add a little, they add a little, they add a little until you get to the end. So it's not like you're watching it, with all the data right up front, and then you have to spend the next, however many hours watching them rehash and recant and so forth. Okay, just fair warning there. So will you like it? As I mentioned, the story is good. The acting isn't the greatest, but it's not bad. It's not an exciting film. It really is not. The pacing is okay. It's fast enough to where it's not, there's no like car chases and guns or blowing stuff up. So the main issue is that if you haven't seen or heard anything about this other than what I'm telling you, you'll probably like this without any preconceived ideas. The reason I had some issue with it is because I saw the trailer and I saw someone else's depiction of it before I saw the actual show. And the trailer and what they had to say really made it sound like a show I would want to watch. So I had to go search the net and find it because, like I said, it's not on YouTube. So it took a little effort to find it. Then I find it, I start watching it. The story itself doesn't really match the trailer. The trailer implies that it's kind of like a guy being bullied and then a guy rescues him from being beat up or something, and that ultimately he falls for the guy who rescued him, and so that's the story. He's kind of following this guy around, and even though this guy has forgotten that he saved him and he's mean to him, he beats him up and leaves him in different places, he still likes this guy, and so he's following him around. Now, not to give any spoilers here, but that's not the story that they're telling in this show. That is a small snippet that's almost like a flashback. It has nothing to do with the story that you're finding here. The story you're finding here is about the piano player and the horn player. The one they show in the trailer is actually the secondary couple whose story isn't really told until almost the end. And then, like I said, it's not really told. It's just kind of a, hey dude, I like you. Really? I didn't know, I'm not gay. And it's like, wait a second. Why was that the focus if that's not the focus? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what that was about. But honestly, if you're okay with kind of, lightweight stories that, it does have deep subject matter, but it's told in such a light way that it doesn't have any real weight to it. So it's one of these that you can probably, chill, eat some ice cream and watch it. Put your feet up. You don't even really have to pay close attention to it to follow along with what's going on. It's not the kind of story that's going to keep you up at night. It's a nice, nice something to watch in an afternoon. Let's see. I guess the main thing is that it really just doesn't match the trailer. So, if you're okay with this, it's still a it's still a drama. It's still a love story. It's still a BL. It's just not the one they advertise. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so it's more of a slice of life. Okay, so it's not like a real kick-ass story like you're thinking it's going to be. It is a slice of life, calm, smooth. Yeah, it's just like a nice little romance. There's nothing hardcore, and with the fake kissing and all, there's no real kissing. There's no sex. There's some alluding to violence, but it's barely depicted, so that's pretty mild as well. I think this is almost like not quite. Yeah, it's kind of rated G in a way. I mean, it's one of those, like, they'll show you that there was a fight, but they don't really actually show the fight sort of thing. Now, granted, me personally, I will not watch this again. But it is cool to watch once. It's just a bit too soft for me. You know, it didn't have what I was hoping it would have after seeing the trailer, and so yeah, it was a tiny bit of a letdown. Now the characters are at least cute. You know, they're youngish but cute. And there was one other thing about this show that was a little bit, I did not take points off for it, but I found it a little bit disingenuous, maybe, is the idea that you're making a BL show, which means your audience are people who already kind of agree with or understand, you know, the whole, not the wholeness, but, you know, like the LGBTQ stuff, okay? It's not like we're not, you know, like, it's not like you're talking to people who have no idea what's going on out here, okay? Where most of us are well aware, and we watch enough of these shows to get the gist of, you know, what's going on with the community. You know, we might have our ear to the ground enough to be aware of what's happening. So it's kind of weird, like in a story that's made now in this era, all of the, and there's more than one couple in here. I think there's 4 total. Might be 3. I'm not, wait, 1, 2. I think there's 3. But the different stories they're telling, it's like each group has the same issue, which is at least one of them, after having some interaction of sorts, will then have this, oh, well, we can't be together because I'm not gay sort of thing. And it's one of those things of, wait a second, that's not really how that works. Not in the real world, and typically not in movies and TV either. You know, normally, like for instance, in most shows and things that are, you know, geared to this audience, if the guy likes a guy, then he likes that guy. Nobody really assumes that because this guy, if guy A likes guy B, that doesn't automatically mean both guys are gay. And it doesn't mean that suddenly guy A likes every guy he sees. It means that he likes guy B. And it's very possible that he might be bi, or maybe he's actually hetero but likes this guy among all of the girls. Who knows? But there's not this idea of, oh my God, I might decide to kiss a guy, therefore I could never touch another woman because that makes me gay. Oh, stay away from me because you're making me gay. And that was sort of an implied running theme in here that I have not seen in a BL in a while. And I thought that was really kind of weird that they kind of snuck that line in there several times, and that became the catalyst for a lot of the issues the guys were having, when in reality, even the side characters weren't behaving that way. It wasn't like the guy said, do you think Daniel's cute? And then all his friends say, oh, dude, oh, you're gay. That wasn't in there. There wasn't like, he went home and says to his dad, I'm not sure, but I think I like my best friend. And his dad says, you better not be gay, son. None of that was in there. And yet the main characters are acting like something is wrong with them because they caught feelings for somebody they're spending a lot of time with, as it were, or someone they want to protect, sort of thing. I just thought that was weird. I just threw that in there to let you know that's what I saw. That's not really going to determine whether or not you're going to like it. It was just something I saw that was kind of like, wow, I haven't seen that in a minute. Okay, so is there anything important that you need to know? For the most part, not really. This is, it's about a G rating, and, there's no playlist for it, like I said, because this is not available on YouTube, so you will have to go to other websites to find it. The only ones here are all kind of chopped up episodes, and it is fast-paced and short. Now, it does deal with some subject matter that some people might find triggering. I will admit that much, but it's not handled in a way to trigger. It's kind of glossed over, so it's like, hey, that happened. Oh, okay. It's that kind of thing. So there's not even anything in here that would, for the most part, cause anybody any kind of trauma in general. It's just a straightforward, like I said, it's G-rated. They could show this on an after-school special, and it would still just be a cute story to watch on a, nice little weekend afternoon. Some, popcorn and a milkshake or something. It's not a deep story at all, but it is a cute one. And I already told you what the issues were, so I'm not going to repeat it. All right, so I think that just about wraps it up. Yeah, I can't think of anything else I need to tell you about it. If you want to watch it, you'll just have to find it on another channel. If I do manage to find this like if they do load this on YouTube one day and I happen to see it, then I will put together a playlist for it. But I just wanted to let you know that this show, Jazz for Two, it is a BL. I just told you what it's about. And so if you're looking for a BL that's, soft and easy to watch, then just Google it. You'll find it. It's out there. And it's been out there. Apparently this is almost a year old, I suppose. So for some reason it's starting to make a rounds again. I don't know why. I don't really care why, but I saw it, the ad, and that's why I decided to go watch it and then make this short kind of video update for you, so you'll know if you want to go watch it too. So, alrighty, that is pretty much all I have to say about that. And like I've said before, my opinion might not match yours. So if you agree or disagree, let me and other BL fans know in the comment section. And if you know where they can watch it, please, by all means, I'm not going to say where I saw it, because I'm not trying to cause any more drama with YouTube or anyone else when you try to tell people something and they're, oh my God, you're leading people. I don't know what they mean by that, and I don't care. I'm not doing it. Okay, so just letting you know. So anyway, well, if you like it, you'll love it. And if you don't, you won't. And this is Spideera signing off.